from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast brought to you live from the National News Studios here at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Dishan Veerakone and joining me tonight is Hesha Inali. First up, let's take a look at your headlines.
Many religious programs have been organized island-wide to mark Durutu Full Moon Poya Day. Sepal Amarasinghe, who insulted the tooth relic, remanded. Number of visitors at the Lotus Tower surpasses 500,000. Ancient paints at the Tampita Vihara in Habarana is on the verge of deterioration. Russia declares 36-hour ceasefire. Sri Lanka makes a remarkable win over India in the second T20.
Now moving on into those and other stories in detail. Now today is the Durutu Full Moon Poya Day, where a number of important events have occurred in the history of the Buddha Sasana. Now many religious programs have been organized island-wide to mark the Poya Day. According to Buddhist history, Lord Buddha has first visited Sri Lanka on a Durutu Full Moon Poya Day following a conversion of a group of Jatila into Buddhism at the Uruvel Danauva in India, controlling a group of Yaksha tribe in the Mahayangane area, and the start of construction of the historical Mahayangane Dagaba were also commenced on a Durutu Full Moon Poya Day. Under the invitation of King Bimbisara, the Lord Buddha had visited the city of Rajagahanuwara with 1,000 Arhat bhikkhus on such a Poya Day. The inauguration of the tradition of conveying merits to the dead and the offering of kingship to Prince Sirisangabo in the Mahayangane area are also incidents that occurred on a Durutu Full Moon Poya Day. The Dhamma sermon organized by the Prime Minister's office was held at the temple trees this morning. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardene was present at this occasion. Chief incumbent of the Mangala Rajama Vihara in Seruvavila, Venerable Aludeniya Subodhithera, conducted the Dhamma Desana. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation is telecasting Durutu Poya Sadharma Varsha religious programs live from Mampe Sri Vijayavardhana Rama Purana Mahavyarasthane in Piliyandala since morning today. Observing Sil, Buddha Puja, Dhamma sermons, religious discussions and community services are also included in this program.
Sepal Amarasinghe, who was arrested under the charge of making an abusive statement on the sacred tooth relic, has been remanded until the 10th of this month.
Now, Colombo Additional Magistrate Tharanga Mahavatta issued this order after considering the facts presented by the CID in this connection. The CID told the courts that this investigation was started under a complaint lodged by Director General of the Department of Buddhist Affairs and Director of the Buddhist Information Center, Venerable Aguruwele Jinanandathera. A controversy has been created due to the statement made by the suspect through his YouTube channel. The CID informed the courts that this incident has also caused a conflict situation between two parties in social media. Director General of the Archaeological Department has also informed the CID that the suspect has made a serious offence through this statement. The CID further said that the Mahanayaka Theras of Malvattu and Askiriya chapters and the Diyavadana Nilame are also ready to make statements before the courts in this regard. CID added that there are evidence that the suspect Sepal Amarasinghe had received money from foreign countries. The CID is further investigating under the Money Laundering Act and the Act Against Raising Funds for Terrorists, as the said statement has created mayhem among the Buddhist community. The CID requests the court to remand the suspect until the 19th of this month. Attorney at law Nama Rajapaksha appeared for the suspect. He and his client made this statement to safeguard Buddhism from intermingling with fake ideas. He told the court that his client has been arrested with the aim of taking political revenge. At the hearing, additional magistrate informed the suspect that the sacred tooth relic is the crest of devoted Buddhists. Therefore, the magistrate advised the suspect to be careful in making such statements. Accordingly, she ordered the officials to remand the suspect until the 10th of this month. At a press briefing held today, police media spokesman SSP Nihal Talduva also expressed views in this regard. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Talduva said that under the Civil and Political Rights Convention Act of number 56 of 2007, there is a certain offence that had occurred in this incident. Making such a statement becomes an offence under the Penal Code as well. The officials of the CID are conducting investigations, paying special attention in this matter. Meanwhile, Minister of Justice Vijaydas Rajapaksa also made a comment in this connection at the Parliament yesterday. Minister Vijaydas Rajapaksa said that making a defamatory statement against a person or a religious belief is a criminal offence under the clause 290 of the Penal Code. It is an offence that leads to a 10 years imprisonment sentence. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has ordered the IGP to immediately start an investigation on the construction of the fake Dalda Maligawa. The President has issued the order following a complaint made by the Mahanayaka Theras of the Malvattu and Askiriya chapters and the Diyavadana Nilame. It has been revealed that this fake temple of the tooth is being built at Vadakala Road in Pothuhera in Kurunegala area. The President has directed the IGP C.D. Vikramaratne to make an immediate inquiry into this matter. Accordingly, the IGP said that an investigation has been started under a DIG in the Criminal Investigation Department. 2 police teams under the supervision of ASP have already started inquiries into the said area.
Moving on, villagers say that the rare paintings in the Habarana ancient Tampita Rajamahaviharya is on the verge of deterioration. They request the relevant authorities to protect them. This temple is of unique historical value. The specialty of this place is that this is the only temple in the area that has paintings created on columns. This belongs to King Rajadi Rajsingha realm in Kandy era. It is said that the temple was constructed in the period between 1782 to 1798. King Sri Vikramaraj Singha is the ruler who had completed construction of this religious place. It is mentioned that the temple was offered to Venerable Madagalle Sankapala Thera by the King Sri Vikramaraj Singha in 1807. Although the temple has long history, the murals in the temple are deteriorating rapidly. Under the guidance of the Archaeological Department, a temporary roof has been erected over the cave that has the ancient paintings. The villagers say it is only an improvised solution. Many unique paintings have been faded away due to fungus. Unless these paintings are quickly preserved, the future generation will miss a historic asset. It is the responsibility of relevant authorities to protect this place, which provides living evidence of the techniques of ancient arts.
Now, Sri Lanka will restart negotiations on trade pacts with India, China and Thailand after a 4-year hiatus. Now, a Reuters report quoting the country's chief negotiation ROF free trade agreements stated that the measure was taken to seal some important deals to help to rebuild the country's economy. Officials from Thailand are scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka on Monday to start the 3rd round of talks after negotiations were suspended in 2018, said K.J. Veerasinghe, Sri Lanka's chief negotiator of free trade agreements. Negotiations with India and China, Sri Lanka's biggest trading partners accounting for about $5 billion each in bilateral trade in 2021, are expected to begin in February and March. Mr. Veerasinghe told Reuters that the focus is on improving economic cooperation and attracting investment, which is crucial for Sri Lanka to emerge from this economic crisis. He said his main goal is to have all these deals completed by the end of 2023 or early 2024. Auramaran Suptavitum, Director General of Thailand's Department of Trade Negotiations, said talks had been delayed because of Sri Lanka's economic crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic. Bilateral trade between Thailand and Sri Lanka totaled around $460 million in 2021, according to Sri Lanka's central bank data. Sri Lanka is aiming to deepen an existing FTA with its northern neighbour India into an economic and technology agreement after talks stalled in 2018. It is looking to add services and investment to the current agreement that primarily covers trade in goods. FTA discussions with China, the island's largest bilateral lender, also stalled in 2018 over disagreements about the pace of the liberalizing of Sri Lanka's economy. Now, the 500,000 visitor came to view the Lotus Tower today.
And officers in charge of the Lotus Tower welcomed the visitors who arrived at the tower today. The Lotus Tower was declared open for the public on the 15th of September last year. Accordingly, public have visited the tower for about 115 days. An attractive display of fireworks held at the tower at the dawn of New Year. Harsha Jeevani from Mathura is the 500th visitor to the Lotus Tower, and she was offered a souvenir and gifts by the officials of the Lotus Tower.
Now, the Tamil Nadu police yesterday seized around 6 lakh worth narcotic pills which are banned in Sri Lanka. Now, Indian media reported that the raid was conducted on the coast near Vedalai village in the state's Ramanathapuram in southern India. According to the Q branch, police in Tamil Nadu seized tablets which were hidden in a fishing boat and they were ready to be smuggled into Sri Lanka. The police found these boxes in a country boat off the coast of Vedalai and seized 6 lakh pills from them. They are also looking for fugitive smugglers. In this situation, the Q branch police have engaged in an intensive search in the coastal areas to find out the ongoing smuggling activities. Now, a group of Buddhist monks representing the Students' Union of the Pali and Buddhist University say that intervention of the Mahanayaka Theras is very essential to restart the university. Now, the group of monks visited the Malvattu Vihara this morning and expressed these views.
Organizer of Students' Union Educational Committee's Venerable Pinsirigama Rahula Thera said that the ideas expressed regarding the ragging incident are not accurate. The management has already taken disciplinary action with regard to the lay students, and the Thera said that 37 students have been suspended at present. Also, these Buddhist monks stated that clergy students of the Pali and Buddhist University are not engaged in politics. Expressing views at this meeting, committee member of Malvattu Mahavihara, Venerable Mahavala Ratnapala Thera, said that Malvattu Mahanayaka Thera will study the matter lengthily and intervene for a discussion between the management and the clergy students.
Now, a number of mental patients due to drug addiction is increasing in the present day, and national television decided to look into this problem. Mental illness is an abnormal situation occurred in the sentiments, thoughts and behaviors of a person. Drug addicts are gradually increasing the dose of drugs he or she takes when an addict has not used drugs. The individual then feels various physical and uneasiness-based difficulties. An addict of cigarettes and tobacco usually consumes about 10 fags a day. Nicotine chemical included in cigarettes only activates in the brain serum and body plasma for about 2 hours. Consuming alcohol also leads to cirrhosis in the liver.
Meanwhile, State Finance Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya says that if the local government election is conducted, Sri Lanka will have a world record as a country that held a poll by printing money amidst a severe economic downturn. He made these remarks following a ceremony held in Dharaniyagala today. State Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya said that we have an estimated expenditure about 80.5 billion rupees during the period from the 1st of the 12th of this month. However, our income is only 26 billion rupees. We have to find out another sum of 54 billion rupees. The government can't postpone these payments as they are very important matters including pensions, Samruddhi allowance, fertilizer subsidy and many other expenses.
Now, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that all the money robbed by politicians so far will be taken back under a rule formed by him. Now, he said this at a meeting held at the Morovaka Kirti Abhay Vikrama National School in Deniyaya to donate a bus to that school. This was the 64th bus donated by the Sakwala program organized by the opposition leader. Now, a felicitation ceremony was held at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation premises recently. Now, that is on the behalf of the short documentary titled Parakiyana Athamma, directed by producer of the corporation Nishadi Bandaranayaka. Now, her documentary was adjudicated as the best short documentary at the 12th Tokyo Docs International Awarding Ceremony. This is the first time a Sri Lankan documentary was honored at this festival. The documentary made by Nishadi Bandaranayaka was translated into Japanese language as well. The documentary was also selected for the final rounds in a number of international awarding ceremonies. Chairman of the Rupavahini Corporation W.B. Ganegala and top management were present at this ceremony. Producer Nishadi Bandanayaka, Senior Technical Officer Dimut Kuruppu, Cameraman Saman Abegunawardana, Visual Technician Isur Tarinda and Engineering Assistant Jayanta Pushpakumara were felicitated at this ceremony. Chairman of the Rupavahini Corporation, W.B. Ganegala, said that we should not give up our try. It is our responsibility. This is a time we have to work as a team. Many such creative artists working in the Rupavahini Corporation at present. During the past 40 years, the national television has won a large number of awards. Producer Nishadi Bandanayaka said that we explain the story to the viewers in an effective way within very short period using images and visuals. At the international arena, they evaluate not individuals but the entire institute, and that is the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am very happy about my institute. This documentary was created by the national television using a lesson in the grade 5 Sinhala textbook titled Para Kiyana Attamma.
Moving on, in Pakistan, a joint project was launched this week to promote the artistic activities of ancient Buddhist hub of Gandhara. Department of Archaeology and Museums and Korea Cultural Heritage Foundation launched a project under the title of Support of the Development, Cultural Promotion and Tourism Resources of the Gandhara Buddhist Culture. Pakistan is home to great Indus civilization, fabulous Gandhara grave culture, wonderful Buddhist art and architecture, amazing Islamic art, calligraphy and countless artistic activities of various periods of human history. Gandhara, Pakistan was the hub of Buddhist cult and artistic activities and possesses the significant honor of producing the first ever Buddha sculpture. Buddhism spread from Gandhara to Korea and Japan. South Korea has always extended great support in the protection, conservation and promotion of the Gandhara Buddhist heritage. The duration of this heritage-oriented project is 5 years. The project is funded by the Cultural Heritage Administration of the Republic of Korea. One of the world's oldest Buddhist temples discovered last year in Pakistan has been also featured in the top 10 discoveries of 2022 by the renowned Archaeology magazine. The temple was uncovered in the town of Barikot in the Swat region of Pakistan's northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, and the rich cultural heritage of the Swat attracts many foreign tourists and heritage lovers.
Now, the customs have taken into its custody a stock of 1,200 metric tons of sugar illegally imported into the country. Now, the value of this stock is 241 million rupees. State Minister Ranjit Singh Walapitiya came to the private sector warehouse located in Paliagoda and inspected the stock. 50% of this sugar stock is brown sugar. The custom says that importing brown sugar is prohibited at present. Accordingly, the custom is to take legal action against the owners of the sugar stock and charge fines. Sri Lanka Customs conduct further investigations. Now, many religious programs have been organized island-wide to mark the Durutu full moon Poya Day. A traditional rice offering ceremony at the Sri Dalada Maligawa in Kandy commenced this morning. A part of the new harvest taken from the paddy lands of the Temple of Tooth was offered to the sacred tooth relic with the aim of invoking blessings to cultivation activities and to bring prosperity to the country. This is the first major offering made annually at the Dalada Maligawa. A series of religious programs had been held in the Kalaniya Rajama Vihara as well. An attractive pageant of the Durutu festival in Kalaniya paraded the streets last night. Construction work of the 27-feet-height Buddha statue of the Veyangoda Gunasiri Sangabo Viharasthane was launched recently under the patronage of Anunayaka of the Ramanya Manikaya, Venerable Nadagamue Vijita Maitri Thera. Inauguration ceremony of the Sunday Dhamma School of the Siri Vijitarame in Kotalavalapura in Ratmalana was conducted recently. Minister Bandula Gunawardena graced the occasion as a chief guest. The Dhamma School, which was started by Venerable Duve Goda Vijitathera, had not been functioning for several years. School materials for the students were also distributed at this ceremony. A 6-feet Buddha statue in contemplation posture was brought to Ananda Bodhi Novice Bhikkhu Training Institute, affiliated to Ananda Bodhi Temple at Aturugiriya recently, under the patronage of Venerable Balangoda Ananda Bodhi Thera. Chief Incumbent of Kingsbury Sri Saddhatissa International Buddhist Centre in London, Venerable Galayaya Piyadasi Thera passed away recently. The Thera was 75 years old at the time of demise. The cremation ceremony was held in London. The Thera has rendered a priceless service in propagating Buddhism in many foreign countries. Well, that's it for local news. Stay tuned for news overseas. Welcome back. Now in foreign news, Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered his defense minister to impose a 36-hour ceasefire on the Ukrainian front line.
And the ceasefire from 12 Moscow time coincides with the Russian Orthodox Christmas. Russian President Putin asked Ukraine to reciprocate, but KYIV quickly rejected the request. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said the truce was an attempt to stop his country's military advances in the east of the country. The Kremlin statement appeared to stress that President Putin ordered his troops to stop fighting not because he was de-escalating. Putin never de-escalates, but because he had listened to an appeal from the head of the Russian Orthodox Church.
USA has approved the use of the world's first vaccine for honeybees. It was engineered to prevent fatalities from American foul brood disease, a bacterial condition known to weaken colonies by attacking bee larvae. The U.S. Department of Agriculture approved a conditional license for the vaccine this week. As pollinators, bees play a critical role in many aspects of the ecosystem. The U.S. animal health officials said the vaccine could serve as a breakthrough in protecting honeybees. They also said that it works by introducing an inactive version of the bacteria into the royal jelly fed to the queen, whose larvae then gain immunity. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said that the U.S. has seen an annual reduction in honeybee colonies since 2006. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization says that pollinators such as bees, birds and bats are responsible for about a third of the world's crop production.
Meanwhile, Amazon plans to cut more than 18,000 jobs, the largest number in the firm's history, as it battles to save costs. The online giant, which employs 1.5 million people globally, did not say which countries the job cuts would hit, but said they would include Europe. Most of the job losses will come from its consumer retail business and its human resources division. Boston Chassis cited the uncertain economy for the cuts, saying it had hired rapidly over several years. He said the announcement had been brought forward due to one of the firm's employees leaking the cuts externally. The interim Afghan Taliban government has signed a 25-year contract with a Chinese company for the extraction of oil from Afghanistan's Amur River basin and to develop an oil reserve in the country's north. The first major foreign investment deal since the Taliban seized power in Kabul in 2021 was signed yesterday by Acting Minister of Mines and Petroleum Sheikh Sabuddin Delwar and an official of Shenzhen Central Asia Oil and Gas Company in a ceremony held at the capital, Kabul. Acting Deputy Prime Minister Mullah Abdul Ghani Akhnud and Chinese Ambassador to Afghanistan Wang Yu also witnessed the signing ceremony. Recently, several projects were approved by the Economic Commission, and with their undertaking, fundamental steps will be taken for the prosperity of the country and public welfare. State-run Bakhtar News Agency quoted Bardar as saying. Moving on, heavy rain and powerful winds are pouring in the northern California coast, and forecasters have warned people to expect more flooding and mudslides. The powerful storm system known as a bomb cyclone has killed at least 2 people, including a toddler who died when a redwood tree fell on his home. California has been under a state of emergency since Wednesday. Over 160,000 homes and businesses have lost power. Officials say the rain is falling on ground already soaked by past rainfall.
Kutumi, Fantamai.
Now in sports, Sri Lanka was able to win the second T20 match against India by 16 runs due to a superb display of power hitting by skipper Dasun Shanaka. Now the series is now 1 game to each tie between both teams. Well, that's a wrap of tonight's Primetime News Bulletin here at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. And until we meet again next time, do take care and good night.